Well, welcome everybody. This beautiful Sunday morning. Let's, as always, begin with ringing the bell 3 times. And we'll let the sound and vibration bring us into this room, bring us into the vessel of this body that is experiencing all of this life, and call us together into this practice. We can also begin by saying the refuge prayer together 3 times. And the refuge prayer is about us spontaneously finding respite in 3 things: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And the Buddha is not just the guy who lived 2,500 years ago, but instead what he discovered in each of us, that is that innate ability to awaken in this moment. The Dharma are the teachings that help us to explore all of those ideas that are really about awakening and allow us to find benefit for us and all other beings. And the Sangha is this group of like-minded individuals coming together in support of this practice without even a word. So if you'd like to join me in saying the refuge prayer 3 times. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In our practice here together, we seek to experientially explore those teachings that we as individuals deem to be undeniably right, wise, complete, and true. Not because anyone tells us they're true, but because through our own investigation we have found them to be of benefit to not only ourselves, but to all other beings without exception. We seek to do no harm in our practice, and we seek to benefit all beings without exception. So as we begin this morning in this practice of awakened awareness, breath and posture are important. So if you'd like to straighten your spine, and as we breathe in, I'd like to feel the belly actually move out, getting a full, deep breath into the lungs, helping to oxygenate the body, helping to just use the tools of this body to help calm and center ourselves with breath. We'll also use our breath as an anchor throughout our meditation. So each time we find ourselves distracted, we just return again and again without any judgment to the sensations of our breath. We'll also use a little chanting this morning to help us center and help us shed all of the task lists and do lists and extra thoughts. So this morning we will chant Lama Cheno, which translates roughly as calling in the Lama, but maybe more accurately means calling in or awakening the inner teacher, the inner Lama within each one of us. Lama Chenno, Lama Chenno, Lama Che Chenno, 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 Lama Chenno, Lama Chenno, Lama Che Chenno. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm. Breathe, relax, center and smile. Take this moment to befriend yourself. Relax and release all the physical and mental tension. Focus on your inhalation and relax on your exhalation. Off the straitjacket of habitual neurotic tendencies and preoccupations. Just let go. Let everything just come and go. There's nirvanic peace in things left just as they are. As we take this time to practice this awakened awareness, remember that there is nowhere else to go. Nothing to do or undo. Nothing special to be or become. Nothing to fix. Nothing to fabricate, and absolutely nothing to manipulate. We just sit and breathe and be. Padme Hum. Om Mani 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 Padme So it's hard not to recognize that we're living in an extremely divisive time. We're not the first to live in a divisive time, but in our experience, media and politicians with agendas and motives at opposite extremes of our own or others. Every day we're exposed to the endless rants and debates that seem to be choreographed to whip us up into a frenzy and into our corners of divided opinion. I've even seen spiritual teachers as of late posting harsh opinions based on bias and judgment, not necessarily about politics or that vein, but being selectively opinionated. It's also not difficult to get completely wrapped up in these debates and conversations, and the problem is that through our conditioning, we have all become and are encouraged to be competitive and right in our view, and hold fast and fight hard. We want to be right and never wrong, ever. But Buddha taught the middle path, the middle way, which doesn't sound like extreme opinions. This means that we take an active part in understanding another's view. Doesn't mean that we have to agree with that opinion, but understand it and understand that there is an alternate motivation from our own. If we don't change these habitual and neurotic tendencies, these unconscious tendencies, we simply and unwittingly participate in this cycle of suffering that we unwittingly participate in. When we change this awareness with mindfulness, our viewpoint changes. Our extremes and our tensions change. Last week we talked about that calm abiding comes from spontaneous awareness. We must cultivate this spontaneous state of awareness in all that we do. Awakened awareness, not habitual and unconscious tendencies. Doesn't matter what's happening. There's no time that awareness is not appropriate. Your actions come from a grounded state at that point. A state of understanding, and not from the throes of emotions gathered around our fanatical opinions. Remembering that we in this state are naked awareness. Lama Surya Das teaches us that you can't believe everything you think. So why be fanatically opinionated? Intellect is a fine tool, but a poor master. And we are often under its thrall. Always maintain an open and friendly mind. Pay attention. It pays off. Awareness is the essence. Everything must be meditated. Do you know what I mean by that? Meditated. Your conscious awareness. That's what that meditation practice is about. It's not about finding bliss or escaping our discomfort. It's about awakened awareness to whatever our focus is. Sound and sight and experience. The experience of the emotions that are gathered within our bodies, our minds. Remembering that everything we do matters. We can transform selfish attitudes and intentions. Wisdom is as wisdom does. He says life is like a mirage, an illusion, a techniconscious movie. Cherish it while it's given. One moment of total awareness is one moment of total enlightenment. One moment, spontaneous moment, this moment. Remembering not too tight, not too loose. Naturally inhabit the holy now, he calls it. In this middle way, in between fanatical opinions. Not trying to be right, but instead trying to understand. Understand all of the complete views. It's through awakened awareness that we react with compassion and wisdom. From a complete view and not fanatical opinion, based solely on bias and judgment. As we say in our 37 practices of bodhisattvas, this is the practice of all the sons and daughters of the Buddhas. So we remember to seek wise and complete understanding. and pull ourselves out of the thrall of all of these stimulus, the media, whatever it is. Not that we should retreat and not be aware of what's going on, but instead understand that there's a motivation to keep you watching CNN or Fox News or whatever your choice. The local news, I think they've extended that to what, 6 hours now? They start every 30 minutes again, and it's like a new day. And understanding that. But that's not necessarily about news. But keeping us entertained and keeping us watching. So show up, find out what's going on, and make wise and complete, compassionate actions from our understanding. And understanding that someone else's view is not our own, and that's okay. Yeah? It's lessons like this that we really get to try on this practice. It's not just about showing up on Sunday and checking the box and going, oh yeah, I chilled out, it was quiet, I just chilled, and now I'm better. And then you start back at work tomorrow morning and start your week with the same tendencies, and as the week goes on, the load gets heavier. But I encourage you to take this idea of awakened awareness, and apply it. It definitely changes things. Change your view, and the things that you look at will change. We're changing our relationship with things, not trying to change the world, not trying to make it more comfortable for us, but changing our view to a wise and complete view of understanding. Changes our engagement. Less stress, more compassion, more wisdom, more love. Yeah? Any questions about that? I love questions. As we explore these natural awareness teachings, these Dzogchen teachings, it's interesting to peel back the layers and understand how we've been engaging in a habitual and unconscious way. And then we try to figure out, why am I stressed? Habitual and unconscious engagement. That's why we feel that way. And why we find dread and find sorrow and depression and anxiety. Yeah. Beatrice thinks so. Well, I have a few quick announcements before we adopt the practice of coffee and snacks. Our 37 practices of all the Bodhisattvas class, our second class is this Tuesday from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. If you didn't come for the first one and you'd still like to jump in, please do. As I always say, there's no experience required. It's a really cool exploration of 37 ideas of how to be an awakened and engaged individual in this experience, which I find to be quite useful. And I've made a practice of turning to these teachings again and again, especially when times are hard. It's been that one thing I could go to and go, oh, yeah, that. So, Foundations of Buddhism is coming up quickly. There is, who's taken Foundations with me before? Oh, good group, nice. So, if you want to take it again, take it again. I have taken it on my own. When Nima was teaching it, I think I took it 5 times and then started teaching it as well. So this is a little bit different than what Nima taught, if any of you had experienced that. It's 6 weeks, so it's pretty condensed, but as always, I like my classes to be half lecture and half discussion. So we open it up to a satsang sort of format, and I really appreciate our exploration of what all the tenets mean, even practices that we don't necessarily practice in here are fair questions in game, and good stuff. What else? Oh, there's a mala sale over here. Our brother George is making the malas, making the malas aplenty. So I'd also like to say that I have been keeping something from you. I have not told you everything, so I'm coming clean today. So we have been here since the 12th of November, which puts us right about what? Almost 4 months. We'll be 4 months on the, whatever around the 12th is. So next week? Yeah. So 4 months next week. And in that time, we have all sort of shown up here and embraced each other in this practice. And in that time, I've also quietly filled out a lot of paperwork and submitted it to the IRS. And I'm happy to announce, excited to announce, and overwhelmed to announce that we received our 501c3 for this organization. So we are federally recognized. So we're official. Not that that really means a lot, but it means a lot. And that we are here and here to stay. 4 months has been pretty quick, and I'm excited to say that 4 years from now, I hope to be holding this yellowing paper and saying, yay, we're still here. Yeah. Or more. Just to start, yeah. So, with that, I am super excited. And they actually gave us the 501(c)(3) status to our inception date. So it started actually on November 2nd of last year, according to the IRS. So we are fully tax deductible for donations and grants and all of those financial things that support the rent and the insurance and coffee and the website, that sort of thing. So I congratulate all of us in supporting that and being a part of this really cool exploration and endeavor together, supporting each other. So with that, these little jobbies are out front, these little envelopes. So even if you make a cash donation, if you fill this out and put it in the box, I'll key it in so that you get a tax letter at the end of the year, even for tax donations. On the back of the program dealy-do, there's even a little QR code because we're in 2018. So you can shoot it with your phone and make a donation from there, or you can do it from Facebook, or you can do it, have a swipey thing, or cash is good, and checks are good, and yeah. Donuts are good, tacos are good, whatever you want. So, with all of that, I'd like us to say our bodhicitta dedication 3 times. And remember, that's about our awakened heart-mind. So we say body, speech, and mind. This is mind. This is body, head. Come out of your head and into your heart. Yeah. So we wish for all this merit that we get from doing this together, for it to be for the benefit of all beings, without exception. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. Body, speech, and mind directed toward awakening and for the benefit of all beings without a single exception. Thanks, all you Buddhas.